Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So I'm back for another Roscoe's recap, and this viewing party was for All Stars 8 episode 4, and the guests this week were Darienne Lake and Mrs. Kasha Davis, who both competed on All Stars 8. Today we're going to be talking about what Darienne Lake thought about Alexis Michelle throwing her under the bus, why Mrs. Kasha Davis and Naysha Lopez got reprimanded by the show, and why Jimbo locked herself in her hotel room and refused to film her confessionals during UK vs the World. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. So they started off by saying that Darienne Lake was actually the first ever guest for a Roscoe's viewing party. Darienne explained that there was a snowstorm, so she had said to the manager at Roscoe's that they should just watch the episode of Drag Race, and that's how the viewing party started at Roscoe's, and Mrs. Kasha Davis was also there. Darienne also said that it was during season 7 during the episode where Pearl won the lip sync against Trixie Mattel. And Darienne said that she was so shocked at the outcome and joked that she, quote, threw a chair across the room. They then watched the first part of this week's episode of All Stars 8, which included Kasha's elimination from the episode the week before. And host Naysha Lopez, who also competed on All Stars 8, asked Kasha if she regrets the speech that she gave on the main stage, which several people interpreted as Kasha giving up and saying that she didn't mind if she went home. And Naysha also asked how Kasha felt about Jessica Wilde, who was the winner of last week's challenge, choosing to eliminate Kasha, even though Kasha had a better track record than Darienne. Kasha said, quote, I absolutely don't regret what I said on the runway. Kasha also said that she grew up in the theatre and she's used to getting feedback as well as feeling gratitude and kindness. Kasha then paused and said, quote, track record, and then she pointed at Darienne, insinuating that Darienne should have been eliminated rather than her based on track record. Darienne then said, quote, I should have not been in the bottom in that first episode, so F everybody, and everyone laughed. And I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to the sponsor of this video, Mistr. With Mistr, you can get prep delivered straight to your door in discreet packaging for free. For those of you who don't know, PrEP is a once daily pill that is 99.9% effective at preventing the transmission of HIV. To get your PrEP, all you have to do is click the link in the description to visit Mistr.com and then sign up online and answer a quick 5-minute health questionnaire. After that, you'll consult online for free with a doctor and you'll complete your simple at-home STI testing kit. Your doctor will then review your results and decide if PrEP is right for you. And if it is, your PrEP will be delivered for free and discreetly directly to your door. It really is that simple. And the best part is that there's no waiting around at the doctor's office, no needles, no paperwork, and free delivery. And whether you have insurance or not, Mistr has you covered and will make sure that you can get your free PrEP quickly and easily. So make sure you use the link in the description in the pinned comment to visit Mistr.com to get your PrEP prescribed online and delivered straight to your door for free. Thank you again to Mistr for sponsoring this video. Kasha then said that she felt like she should have been in the top in episode 2 for her role as Barb in the acting challenge. And Kasha said, quote, I wasn't recognised for that. Ageism. Kasha then said that it was, quote, surprising to me that Jessica chose to eliminate her because she had been helping Jessica with her acting and her lines in the acting challenge the week before. Kasha then talked about the outfit that she made for the design challenge and said, quote, that being said, the dress was bleep. But then she joked and pointed out the fact that on Fashion Photo Review, she was given a toot and a shoot, which are the 2 highest scores that you can get. Kasha then repeated that she didn't regret what she said on the runway, but what she does regret is that, quote, half of what I said in the beginning of this episode was used, but that's production, right? And that's what we want it to look like, that Mrs. Kasha Davis has a dog and a husband and children at home, and the rest of that sentence was, she doesn't. And then Kasha pointed at Darienne and everyone started laughing. Darienne then joked and said, quote, I'm all alone, but I have the people from World of Wonder watching right now. Hi sweetie, how are you doing? Are you on pins and needles? I hope so, F you. They then talked about Darienne being in the bottom in episode 1, and Naysha said that she did talk about this in the first viewing party for All Stars 8, but her words got, quote, misconstrued, and they're like, oh, you're attacking Jaymes. And Naysha said that she's going to stick to what she said and Darienne should never have been in the bottom in episode 1. Naysha elaborated and said that all of the other queens at the viewing party for episode 1 agreed that someone else should have been in the bottom, but Naysha said that she wasn't going to repeat it. Just to explain in case you haven't seen it, in the first viewing party for episode 1 of All Stars 8, Naysha said that Jaymes Mansfield should have been in the bottom in episode 1, and many of the other queens agreed, and Kasha even said that Jaymes had had a meltdown and cried, but it wasn't shown in the episode. And people online falsely claimed that Naysha was referring to episode 2, and that Naysha thought that Jaymes should have been in the bottom instead of Naysha, but that wasn't actually the case. Mrs. Kasha Davis then said that both she and Naysha got a little bit, quote, reprimanded because of what they had said at the first viewing party, insinuating that the producers told them off because they had been spilling backstage tea and criticising the show. And Naysha then said, quote, I mean, I don't give an F, and everyone laughed. They then moved on to the challenge for this week on All Stars 8, which was called Screen Queens, and the queens split into groups and had to create their own trailers for a TV show. And Darienne was asked if she was happy with her team and the final product that they created. Darienne said, quote, you never know what's going to happen, they're always teasing you and all that stuff, you know? And Naysha said, quote, say it Darienne, you don't know how they're going to edit it. And it seems like Naysha was referring to the fact that often, with these types of challenges where the queens create their own films, the final edit can sometimes be different to what the queens actually filmed. And queens in the past have said that their videos were edited to make them look worse than they actually were because the producers wanted a reason to put that queen in the bottom. They then moved on to the runway for that week, and the category was As the World Turns. And Naysha said that Darienne looked, quote, absolutely stunning, and everyone clapped. Darienne said that it took a lot for her to do that because of her body confidence issues, but she said that she did not use any padding and it was all her own body. Darienne then said, quote, I just kept pulling that corset until I could taste my nuts. They then talked about Jaymes Mansfield's look for this week, which Jaymes said was inspired by her Mexican and indigenous culture. And host Caramel said, quote, me and Batty just found out that Jaymes is indigenous in this moment right here. We knew that they were Mexican, but we didn't know they were indigenous. But, beautiful gowns. And everyone started laughing. Just to explain that in case you don't know, this is a reference to a comment that legendary singer Aretha Franklin once made in an interview. In the interview, Aretha was asked her opinion on lots of other singers, such as Adele and Whitney Houston, and Aretha said quite nice things about each of them. And when Aretha was asked about Taylor Swift, Aretha just said, quote, gowns, beautiful gowns. And many people took this to be a slightly shady comment by Aretha because she made comments on Taylor's outfits rather than her vocal abilities. And since then, this expression of gowns, beautiful gowns, has become a joke and is a way to throw some shade at someone. So it's not clear if Caramel meant that here exactly, but several people gasped and laughed when Caramel said that. Mrs. Kasha Davis then said it was, quote, something different for her. Naysha then said that this was a very smart thing for Jaymes to do because, quote, as a judge, they will never talk negatively about someone's culture. And some people in the audience groaned and slightly booed. And Naysha said, quote, seriously, that's what you do. And she said that RuPaul and the other judges are not going to say anything bad about an outfit that's to do with someone's culture, so it's a smart move. But Naysha said that James's proportions were good and her ass looked great. They then moved on to the moment during the judges' critiques where Alexis Michelle apologised for her group's performance and then said that the concept was Darienne's idea and many people felt like Alexis threw Darienne under the bus. Caramel then said, quote, grab your venture cards because Alexis Michelle is driving the bus, and everyone started laughing. Naysha then said, quote, she threw Darienne under that bus so fierce. Darienne, what were your thoughts in that very moment? Darienne explained that she was trying to defend her team and their concept, but the other two in her team were just standing there being silent. Darienne then implied that earlier in the day, Darienne, Alexis and Jaymes had agreed that they would all defend each other. And Darienne said, quote, of course I would stand by you, but you've both been guests in my home. And everyone started laughing because Darienne was making a slightly shady dig at the other two. Darienne then said that what she wanted to say was, quote, B, are you for effing real? I want to thunder punch you in the effing sea right now. And Kasha said that she wished Darienne had actually said that on the runway, and Darienne replied, quote, no, I didn't say that, it definitely was not edited out. So it's not clear if this was a joke or whether Darienne was implying that she did say something back to Alexis on the main stage, but it was just edited out. And Darienne said that she and Alexis had spoken since then and they're all good, and Naysha also said that the queens don't get mad at each other because they all know that it's a TV show at the end of the day. Darienne then said that she felt that she gave the best performance in her group, and she also felt that her runway outfit had the best fit. And Darienne explained that she overcame a huge fear of showing her legs, and she talked about body positivity and that every body is beautiful. And Darienne said that one thing that she did talk about on the show, but the footage wasn't used, is that during the 2020 lockdown, Darienne found a mole on her leg, and it turned out that it was melanoma, which is a type of skin cancer. And they had to perform surgery to remove the mole, and they also took her lymph nodes to make sure the cancer hadn't spread. And because of that, Darienne has a big scar on her leg. Darienne then added that luckily the cancer hadn't spread, so she's safe for now. But Darienne made the point that May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month and you should get yourself checked, because if you get sunburn even a few times in your life, it can increase your risk of skin cancer by 20%. And Darienne said that because she had overcome all of that, she wanted to show her legs and she felt really good about herself and showing her body. Mrs. Kasha Davis then said, quote, I don't know where you got the outfit, it looked perfect on you. And Darienne then said that the outfit was actually Kasha's outfit and she had loaned it to Darienne because she said that it looked better than what Darienne had originally brought. They then talked about the fact that Jimbo had won this week's challenge, and Naysha said that Jimbo has had such a glow up since her first season. And Naysha said that Jimbo's face has changed a lot and it's not just filler, and apparently Naysha asked Jimbo if her teeth had changed. And apparently Jimbo wears a flipper, which is a removable retainer that you clip onto your teeth and it makes your teeth look different to how they actually look. And Naysha joked that they'd all spent thousands of dollars on the show, and Jimbo had just ordered her flipper on Amazon and popped it in. They then got to the part of the episode where Darienne got eliminated and everyone at Roscoe's cheered for Darienne. Darienne then said that she was glad that she was at Roscoe's with her friends, such as her best Judy, Kasha, when she got eliminated. And Darienne then joked and said, quote, please vote for me for the Fame Games because she pointed out, I am single, I have nobody, I have cancer, no, they cut that out, and everyone started laughing. And previously, Naysha had said that Darienne has a very dark sense of humour, and Naysha joked and said, quote, it doesn't end, this is all the time. Naysha then asked Darienne if she knew that her lipstick was going to be chosen for elimination, and Darienne said yes. And Naysha said that apparently Jimbo takes the deliberation part very seriously because on UKvTW, Jimbo was eliminated by Pangina in a similar circumstance. And Naysha spilled some backstage tea about a story Jimbo had told her, and apparently when Jimbo was filming UKvTW, after she was eliminated, the producers told her that she had to come back to film her confessionals. But Jimbo apparently said no and locked herself in her hotel room, and Naysha said that the producers got, quote, peed at her and reminded her that she had a contract and kind of threatened her. And apparently Jimbo then just said, quote, I'm just kidding, let me get ready, and then she went and filmed the rest of the footage that the producers needed. They then talked about the amount of suitcases the queens are allowed to bring to Drag Race, and Darienne didn't want to say, but then Naysha said that the show would only pay for up to 8 suitcases. And Mrs. Kasha Davis said, quote, unless you break the rules and bring more. And Naysha said that Candy Muse brought 10 suitcases, but Naysha said that Candy's padding and outfits are bigger, so it's fair that some queens get to bring more suitcases than others because all queens have different requirements. They then moved on to the audience Q&A session, and an audience member said that in a normal season of Drag Race, World of Wonder has a lot of control over what the queens can post on social media, and the queens have to get permission. And the audience member asked whether it's the same for All Stars, and if the queens are told not to post things by World of Wonder, which would mess up their Fame Game content. Naysha said, quote, I have 100% control over my social media. They said it is up to you to do whatever you want, which is different on All Stars compared to a regular season. And Kasha said that there were no restrictions, and she thinks that World of Wonder have seen in previous seasons that the queens who got eliminated posted photos of their unaired looks, and World of Wonder wanted in on that. And they want to take advantage of the fact that the queens get photo shoots and videos done for their unaired runway looks. And Kasha said that it's a great thing because it boosts engagement on social media, and she thanked World of Wonder for doing that. Naysha then said that the fame game is a positive thing, but the reason that she was vocal about it is because it's not in your contract, and the queens didn't know anything about it until they started filming the season. And Naysha said that in her opinion, All Stars 7 was the most beautiful season because everyone stayed, they were all winners and they got to show their runways. And Naysha then referred to the fame games and said, quote, "This was their way of doing that but not paying you for it. How do we do all of the runways without having to keep all these girls here because we're not going to pay?" Naysha then said, quote, "That winners season was hell because those girls were winners and they were like, you're not going to effing eliminate us, you're going to give me an effing check. So they're like, how do we do that but not get all that winners energy? That was too much for us. The fame game was the answer to that." So it sounds like Naysha was saying that the fame game was created to capitalise on the success of what had happened in All Stars 7, that all of the queens got to show their runways every week, but they didn't actually have to pay the queens for this. And finally, someone asked about whether there's going to be a union for drag queens. And Naysha said that there should be a union for drag queens because drag queens work so hard and they deserve protection. And Naysha said that she has friends who are part of SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, which is a labour union for actors. And Naysha said that there's no such equivalent for drag queens, and there should be. And Naysha is really passionate about it and has been working on this for a long time, and she wants to try and get a national union to protect drag queens. So there you go, there was the Roscoe's recap for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 8 Episode 4. What do you think of All Stars 8 so far? And who are you rooting for to win the season? Let me know in the comments. And I'd just like to give a special shout out to all of my amazing Patreon members: Emerald1508, Kristen, Sunshine, Ronnie and PC Smush in the You're a Winner Baby tier. And in the Shantae You Stay tier, we have Charlie, David, Craig, Synth Henry, Becky, Emma, Max and Tebby. Thank you all so much for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. You are all absolute legends. If you'd like to get access to my videos before they go on YouTube, as well as shoutouts in my videos, priority when submitting interview questions, and also access to my archived videos, you can join my Patreon for just a few dollars a month to unlock these incredible benefits. I'll put a link in the description. Please make sure you like, comment and share this video as it really helps support my channel. And of course, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!